This is the PlayStation 4, and this is the iPad Pro.
Now I know it's a little outrageous to compare these two devices because one's a console and the other's a tablet, but they do have something in common. They both play Fortnite. So which one does it better?
Well, we all know how the PS4 handles Fortnite. You plug it into the wall, connect it to your TV or monitor, connect a controller, open Fortnite, then take a quick L. Simple. To replicate this on the iPad, we have to first get a dongle. There's a link to one with 10 ports in the description below, as well as to everything else in this video. Then we use the dongle to connect to the monitor, connect our controller, which the iPad now supports. Doesn't matter if it's a PS4 or Xbox controller. And once we have everything, then it's time to open up Fortnite and take an L. Easy. It won't be as fun as the L you took on the PS4 though, because the iPad won't adapt to the 16:9 aspect ratio of a regular TV or monitor, so you'll be stuck with a lot of wasted space and won't be playing your game full screen. But you can also see the iPad as a little more convenient, because you don't even have to plug it into the wall this way. It can run on its own battery. Playing Fortnite non-stop from 100% battery, the iPad lasts about 2 hours plus. The PS4 lasts exactly 0 seconds. It must stay plugged in, because that's the console way of doing things. The iPad is a tablet though, and the tablet way of doing things is a little different. With the iPad and without the monitor, yes, it's like Fortnite on the PS4, but it's Fortnite everywhere you go. You can play in the park, in your room, while you study. You can even catch a quick L on the toilet. It's a little harder to do the same with the PS4. But how about how well they actually run the game though? Well, the PS4 runs pretty smoothly most of the time, at about 60 frames per second. It does sometimes lag during the game though, nothing major, just minor lag, and apart from that, it's a completely smooth experience, when the Wi-Fi is good at least. The iPad on the other hand will probably run a little worse than the PS4, at best, right? Wrong. The iPad can actually match the 60 frames per second frame rate of the PS4 with high settings. Now these high settings are not exactly like the PS4 settings, but they're the closest it can come, and it's not that different actually, but you can tell they're not the same. The PS4 definitely has more details, but the iPad runs it smoothly and it lags even less. The real crazy thing the iPad can do though only works with medium settings. You can play Fortnite at 120 frames per second on the iPad Pro. It actually runs at 120 frames per second, double the amount of the PS4. See, it's hard to understand what 120 frames per second really is with words alone. You might be able to comprehend it, like it's 120 frames every second. Correct, yes, but the real way to properly understand it is to experience it yourself. I'd never played Fortnite at over 60 frames per second before, and in my mind, I couldn't really imagine it being smoother than it already was. And even if it was, would I be able to notice? The first time I tried it on the iPad though, I was blown away. Look, there is smooth, and then there is smooth. The PS4 is smooth, but the iPad Pro is smooth, and it's consistently smooth too. Even when my iPad would get very hot and it would drop some frames, it would drop to like 90 frames per second or something and then bounce right back. And 90 frames per second is still very, very smooth. The PS4 couldn't even do that. But listen, even if the PS4 could do 120 frames per second, most monitors wouldn't be able to show it. You need a monitor with 120 Hz refresh rate. The iPad Pro screen itself though is already at 120 Hz, so you get maximum smoothness. You also don't need to rely on just Wi-Fi, because you can get an LTE version of the iPad with a SIM card, so it can be smooth everywhere you go. Now games are supposed to be fun, and Fortnite is a game, so it's meant to be fun too. You know what's not fun though? Flying from the sky for a while just to get wrecked real quick. I mean real quick. Every time. Yeah, it's not fun to play against semi-pros and tryhards, and there are a lot of those in PS4. I mean, look how many L's I'm taking. It's either because I'm playing tryhards or that I just suck at Fortnite. Nah, that can't be it. It's definitely the tryhard thing. Definitely, yeah, let's be realistic. No doubt, yeah. You know what is fun though? Taking all the anger from the L's the tryhards gave and unleashing it on noobs. That is what I live for. That's that Christmas in February. We're gonna need the iPad for that though. And then it's stay down. Stay down, boy. Yup. Yup. Can you hit me? Nope. Bop. Hold on. Let me plug in my mic so I can trash out these kids. These children. Speaking of, how is plugging in your mic and chatting with friends while you play? Well, everyone is used to the PS4 way of doing this. You just plug in your mic and talk to your friends in your party, whether it's a party on the PS4 itself or on Fortnite. But what about on the iPad? Well, there are no parties on the iPad itself, but you can still use your iPad microphones or plug in your own mic and talk to friends on Fortnite or any other external application you want to use. You can't use the same mic you use on the PS4 though, because the iPad doesn't have a 3.5mm headphone jack port. So unless you have the all-in-one dongle from the description, you're gonna need another dongle. You might think you wouldn't, but just like the PS4, the iPad Pro cannot use the microphones on your Bluetooth headphones just yet. Actually, the PS4 can't even use any Bluetooth headphones at all, not even to just hear. This is not a problem with the iPad. Now, I won't be doing justice to this topic if I didn't mention this important point. Listen carefully. Your girl hates the PS4. Why? Because whenever you're on it, you don't text her back. Look, getting W's can be time consuming. Trust me, I get it. I feel you. I understand. Your girl won't though, so if you don't want any problems, you're gonna want to use the iPad for Fortnite because you can text her back directly from there. You can't with the PS4. But see, you can actually do more than texting back with the iPad Pro. You can actually do a bunch more. You can have full control of your music, check out Twitter, you can even subscribe to your favorite YouTuber and turn on notifications as well so you don't miss any of the future outrageous videos like this one that he plans to post. And since you're already there, you might as well just like the video too, because you know you like it. And not doing so will be dishonest of you. You're not a dishonest person, are you? I know you're not. If you don't like the video, then still press like, he'll be able to tell the difference. Speaking of differences, which is the better device for Fortnite? The iPad Pro or the PS4? Now I know it's outrageous to say it, but facts are facts and the iPad Pro just provides the better Fortnite experience objectively. That means the iPad Pro is the winner today. It might not be your winner though. For example, if you're someone that only plays with a TV or monitor, you're not gonna like the wasted screen real estate on the iPad. But with all the ways the iPad beats the PS4 here, I think it'll be better for most people. Who would have thought? Outrageous. So the iPad got an update not too long ago, and now it has mouse support. So I guess you can plug it in and play like a PC. Wait a second. iPad Pro versus PC.